What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top shelf college sports content centered around the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Big 12. We're going to start off the show talking a little bit about Deion Sanders. Not going to spend a ton of time on this. Deion had his press conference today at 1 o'clock with his medical team to explain what's going on. There was a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors floating around on social media that Deion was going to be stepping down as Colorado Buffalo's coach. That absolutely did not happen. It actually was the opposite of that. Now, there was some news that come out. We found out that Deion Sanders, according to his doctor, had been diagnosed with bladder cancer. He was going in for one of his routine checkups that he has because of all the vascular issues he's had in the past. He goes for routine checkups. They discovered he had a tumor on his bladder. He decided to go the surgery route to have his bladder completely removed. That way it reduces the risk of the cancer returning, because according to the doctors, and this is all being paraphrased, I'm not a doctor, don't know all the exact terminology, but basically what it boils down to is the two options were, he had a couple options. One option, there would be a very, very good chance the cancer would return later, about a 50-50 chance it would return later, or he could have his bladder completely removed and it decreased the risk of it ever returning. That's what he chose to do. They had to do, he basically now has, my understanding, and maybe fake is the wrong word, but it's a fake bladder. And he's going to have some lifelong complications that he has to deal with, that a lot of us probably take for granted every day. He made some jokes about that, about him being able to pee, all these things, talked about his relationship with the Pens now. Apparently he's going to have some kind of deal with the Pens. So long story short, it was good news, I think, today. It was good news for Deion that he's going to be okay. He's cancer-free. He's going to survive this. Despite the long-term complications he has, he was positive. He was talking about how blessed he was. He obviously used it as an opportunity to spread the gospel, talk about God, and be positive in that regard. And he also used it as an opportunity to recommend for all of us to get regular checkups and make sure we go to the doctor, because he said, had I not went to the doctor for my checkup, they would have never found this cancer. He wasn't even having any symptoms, but they found it. They were able to catch it early. They were able to get it. And yes, even though he had to have his bladder removed, he will survive it and be able to live at least, well, I don't want to say a normal life, but he will now be able to live a life and his quality of life will be impacted, but it won't be as bad as it could have been. And he even talked about how the meeting they were having today could be, or the gathering would have been much different had they not found out he had that cancer, because it was a very aggressive form of cancer, apparently, that they found. So good news on that front. Deion is better. He's healthier. There will be side effects from the surgery, obviously, but he is back. And he also he is coaching the Colorado Buffaloes. He said he's back. He's not going to have to rely on his staff anymore. He is back. And I think that's good news for Colorado fans. I think it's good news for the Big 12 conference, because Deion brings a lot of eyeballs to this conference, whether we like Deion or not, whether we like the way he conducts himself at times, whether we like the way he handles the media, whatever the case may be. He is important for the Big 12, and he brings a lot of attention to the Big 12, and I think the Big 12 needs that in this day and time, because we are, falling behind the other conferences in that regard. And lastly, it's important, I think, for all college football fans. Deion makes college football more fun, more interesting. Again, whether you love him or hate him or whatever, it gives us something to talk about, something to look forward to. You can watch Colorado to cheer against them, or you can watch Colorado to cheer for them. Either way, it's all good for college football that Deion Sanders is part of it, in my opinion, especially if you're a Colorado Buffaloes fan. But most importantly than that, it's good for Deion and his family. Deion is going to be sticking around. He's going to be there for his 5 children. He's going to be there for his, I don't know if it's his wife, whatever, his life partner, whatever she is. He'll be there for her. He'll be there for his other family members. He'll be there for his team. He'll be there for his friends, his family. He went through a whole list of people that had supported him through all this. So I have been critical of Deion a lot on this show in the past. I've also praised Deion some on this show in the past, but at the end of the day, he's a human being. I appreciate the fact that he was trying to convince people and talked about the importance of getting checks and going to the doctor. I really appreciate that. I feel like his heart was in the right place. I also, as a guy who is, a believer myself, I'm glad. I'm not a very good one. I have a lot of issues, a lot of weaknesses, a lot of battles, but I am a believer, and I think as a believer, it's important for people like Deion, who is not afraid of their faith, to be out front and center. Now, that's the Deion update.